MLG Dallas was last weekend, and I actually haven't really heard that many people talking about this event. I caught about an hour and a half on Saturday, and on Sunday I watched about an hour before The Walking Dead came on, and that was actually during the championship games. Perfect timing, right? So it was Team Unite and Farico in the final. Now the funny thing about this MLG event is that back with the first Black Ops, I had a commentary talking about competitive COD and MLG. And in my video, I was saying that the rules of MLG were way too restrictive. MLG with the first Black Ops had all these crazy rules. You couldn't use certain perks. You couldn't use flak jack. You're not allowed to use equipment, claymores, stuff like that. You can't use kill streaks. And to me, in my personal opinion, you're not playing Call of Duty if you're playing without kill streaks. So I don't understand how they could have a competitive scene and then take something out like kill streaks. That commentary that I put out about 2 years ago, the comment section was hilarious. People were dissing me up and down, left and right. They were saying things like, kill streaks are for camping noobs like you, Smoove. Equipment, all that stuff, it's for noobs. That's not skill. It's not gun based. It's gonna slow down the game. It's too random. The reason why the rules remove all these things is because it's too overpowered. It's too imbalanced. It's too this, it's too that. It was basically a whole bunch of excuses as to why competitive COD is not actually Call of Duty. It's like they're trying to create a totally different game. They're trying to take the game and make it into some other kind of game. It's not the game that me and you play. It's some other weird version. So if you want a good laugh and you want to read through the comments, I'll leave the link to that video in the description. But that's why I think it's so funny that now in MLG Dallas, they tweaked the rules a little bit. They're still restrictive, I'm sure. I'm sure they still have some of those crazy rules in there, but they allowed score streaks. And I think that made the event even better than it's ever been. I think it was more entertaining. And you don't really hear people complaining that now there's score streaks when there weren't a year or even 2 years ago in MLG. So now I'm saying, you know, all the things I was saying in that commentary, even though everybody was dissing up, down, left, right, I was actually right, because in MLG Dallas, we saw that the kill streaks did not slow down the game. People were not camping to get their kill streaks. It didn't do anything. All it did was make it more interesting, because the team that actually won, Farico, they had a couple of games where a Hellstorm missile and a lightning strike really changed the game. Like there was one game on Capture the Flag, they stopped the other team from getting a flag capture, and then they in turn got their own flag capture with the Hellstorm. Then when they were playing Hardpoint, the other team was coming back. They were right about to take the lead, and then somebody on Farico, they had a lightning strike, they used it, they stopped their momentum, and they were able to get the win right there. These guys are pro players. They're putting in hours of practice every single day. There's no reason why they can't adapt and adjust to kill streaks and equipment and all the other things that we have to deal with. We're just regular players. We're not pro players, yet we deal with these things all the time. You know, if somebody's using equipment, we slap on engineer. You know, there's no need to use engineer in MLG because they don't allow equipment. And I'm not even 100% sure what the rules were for MLG Dallas, but I'm sure they have some restrictions. And, you know, I think that if they take some of those things away, it's not going to harm the competitive scene. The players are just going to have to think a little more. They're just going to have to be smarter. They're just going to have to work harder. That's all. I mean, it's not going to make the game slower. The kill streaks didn't make the game slower. Yet, if you check the comment section of the video that I put out 2 years ago, everyone was saying, well, if you have kill streaks, the game is going to be really slow because everyone's going to be camping to get their kill streaks. And that didn't happen. So everything else that I proposed that they add into the rules, maybe they should do that. Maybe they should have more than a couple of maps that they allow people to play on. Maybe at the next MLG event, instead of playing on these same maps that they use like Standoff and Raid, instead of using these same maps, why don't they pick some more maps? Why don't they even throw in some DLC maps, mix it up? Why not? In the comment section of the video 2 years ago, people said, well, the reason you don't want to use certain maps is because they're too imbalanced, but that's why they switch sides. That's why they switch sides, because if one side is imbalanced, well, hey, you're only going to play 4 rounds on this side, and then you're going to play 4 rounds on the other side. So it evens itself out. There's no reason why they shouldn't do these things. They shouldn't have all the maps in there and mix it up. When you really think about it, every single map in the game is imbalanced. There's always one side that's more favorable than the other, and that's why you switch sides in the first place. I know that Call of Duty, they're really trying to get into the competitive gaming scene more and more. They're trying to compete with games like StarCraft, because I think at MLG Dallas, I think at the same time that Call of Duty stream was going on, there was a StarCraft stream or something. Some other game, I forgot what it was, but at the time, that game, let's just say it was StarCraft, I don't know, but it had 70,000 viewers watching that event. And then the Call of Duty event had around 20,000 to 30,000 viewers. So you can clearly see that competitive gaming in COD, it's not, the audience isn't really there. It's not as big as StarCraft or whatever other games they had going on at the time. So Treyarch, you know, when they made this game, they tried to make it more competitive gaming friendly. That's why they have the skill-based matchmaking. That's why they got this league play, and they were pushing league play so much. Even though me and you, we don't really care about league play and all these things that they tried to do. It's not bad that they're trying to expand and go to that competitive scene, because the competitive scene, it's making a lot of money. So why not? But at the same time, I know a lot of people, they feel as if this game, the developers are ignoring the casual gamer. What do you think? Do you feel that way? Because I know a lot of people, they're voicing their opinion about this game, and they feel like it is too much focus on the MLG, on the competitive gaming side of the game, instead of the things that the everyday players want to see implemented and patched and fixed and tweaked. So overall, I'd say for MLG Dallas, I enjoyed it when I was watching it. I think my favorite part was being able to see the mini-map, because if you're watching the stream, they have a mini-map that shows where all the players in the game are. Now, obviously, the players in the game, they don't see that. They're just playing the game, trying to figure out where everybody is. But as you're watching, you're looking at the mini-map, you're like, okay, who's going to get owned? Who's going to get beasted and feasted on? They're about to collide. I thought that was pretty entertaining. I mean, I haven't been playing COD lately, but I had fun watching that stream. And about the kill streaks, I mean, look at this guy. What's that guy doing? But about the kill streaks, I feel like as a pro player, if you go on a 7 kill streak or something like that, in a pro game, in a tournament like this, you deserve to pull out some score streaks, some kill streaks. So I'm glad that Black Ops 2 has that, because to me, it was just an epic fail in Black Ops 1 where the rules restricted it completely. No kill streaks at all. And looking back at the comments section, I think that's the funniest part, is reading people's comments, dissing me, just going off on me because I'm pointing out how ridiculous the rules were. So even though they do allow score streaks now, I don't think they allow the UAV. I don't think they allow the Blackbird. I don't think they allow any of that. But imagine if everything was allowed, all the kill streaks, everything. Would MLG and competitive COD be better? I think it would.